Hi everyone, Albar here. This is going to be my solo walkthrough and guide to the level 5 heroic quest, A Frosty Reception, on the Elite difficulty. Enjoy. Quick note, spoiler alert, after all this is still less than a week since Feywild went live. This quest is one from the first Feywild quest chain.
This soaring structure is Wynwood Hall, the home of Lord Arden and the local center of the summer court.
As you can see, this quest is way up, far up in the map. So, special shout out to Warjack, who went and farmed out a mount for me. Thank you. This is my character that I rolled up for these quests, Green Hand. So I can do it at level. It's the free-to-play quarterstaff quick stick build. I have one note I would like to make about these solo walkthrough and guide videos. That is that it's not just the time that it takes me to record the footage. It's the recording, and then it's making sure that the music fits and doing the voiceovers and putting everything together and checking everything. The longer the quest is, the more time it will take to put into the video. It exponentially gets longer and longer. So if I want to scout out the quest and make sure I don't miss any secret room or optional or collectibles or even just interesting dialogue or text or something, I have to do it and try everything from a whole bunch of angles. And the longer the quest is, it makes the whole experience much longer for me. So that's why it takes more time to do these quests. I already did a few of the shorter quests, and now as I'm tackling these longer, less linear quests that have way more options, they overall take much longer. So if you appreciate it, please show me the support I need for it, and don't mind hitting like and subscribing. Also, I took a little bit of a different approach this video in regards to the DM text, so if you enjoy it, please leave me a comment.
Ahead lies Bitterspine Palace, home to the Baron and Baroness Bitterspine, and one of the many holdings of the Prince of Frost.
This is one of two quests who take place at this location.
You have arrived at Bitterspine Palace, home of one of the Prince of Frost's vassals. You proceed with caution. Whether you're expected by the Baroness or not, the Prince of Frost's cold reputation is known throughout the Feywild. The Prince of Frost stands before a throne overlooking the crowded ballroom, the Baroness beside him. However, the third throne on the dais stands empty. The air chills as the Archfey points a finger toward you.
Why have you disturbed me with your presence, Outlander?
If I may, my prince, says the Baroness, a connection in the summer court sent word of the Outlander's arrival. I have granted them an audience with me. I assure you, they will not disturb the ball. A frosted cerise has miraculously sprung up inside the Aurora garden. You're told that Osha loathes extravagant parties such as this one. He's likely to be avoiding the crowd somewhere, perhaps out on the windward balcony.
The area upstairs is very small, and we're going to go there first.
Squire Icebrook asks you to bring an urgent message to the Baroness. For reasons he will not divulge, this must
There's two rooms on the top floor.
from the
We're going
Prince
to take the
of
one that goes to the right
You'll
first.
find yourself in a small corridor that has been frozen over with ice. The icicles block the door leading into the Baron's room, clearly to deter someone from going inside.
As you just saw, that way is blocked off. We'll be back to it later.
This door leads out to the windward balcony. From the dim gems on either side, you can see that it has been sealed to prevent guests from following Osha outside.
Okay, so we need to get these 2 signal crystals. Now we're going to go to the other room on the top floor. I'm going to go right first. Make sure you got cold resistance for this quest. Or you're going to get destroyed, especially on Elite. We've got a collectible. Here we've got a shrine. Also here we've got a new design for a bathtub. And a toilet. And a mirror. Anyways, we're done here. Let's go to the other side. These banners keep on getting stuck inside of my camera view. It's kind of tricky with the angle. So, sorry about that. Anyways, here's the first switch.
You hear a bell chime in the ballroom as you pull this lever.
You can see these mysterious paintings. Do you recognize where this is? Well, if you don't, yes, it teleports you back to the entrance hall. And we now can give her the message we got from the guy on the top floor.
The Baroness refuses to take your message in front of the prince and all her guests. She tells you to meet her downstairs in the wine cellar.
Okay, let's explore the bottom floor. Supposed to meet her in the wine cellar. Before I'm going to just go into this room on the side. Currently there's nothing here that we need. We can talk to everybody if they don't say anything important. You can see by looking at the map, you can always see what the name of the room is by putting your cursor over that purple dot. The barrels over here are the wine cellar. You can try a skill check, and if you succeed, it'll give you the key. But I prefer to do this method because it's more interesting.
The head waiter will unlock the door to the treasure vault if you take care of an ice spider that the Prince of Frost conjured to keep sleepy waitstaff on their toes. The door to the treasure vault is bolted shut. Perhaps one of
This
the
is the kitchen.
waitstaff knows how to get
Again, there's
inside.
nothing interesting here, but there's some tasty ham. Yoink. And we can get out of here. Inside of the cellar where the barrels are over here, here's the Baroness. You can talk to her now.
A wave of relief washes over the Baroness's face as she scans the letter. The Baron is alive and safe. But whatever he got himself into has kept him away from home.
I'm going to continue down this hallway and explore a bit more. Here's the whole map. The entrance. That's the top room where the prince is. The bottom, the other top room on the left, who actually leads to these two places. And here's the main entrance hall. Now we're going to explore this bottom ring of rooms. You can see that barrier blocks off a room. Here you can see our objective. This is the garden, and we're inside of the area north of the garden. And it even says on the map, it marks the sofa you're supposed to take a nap on. So we'll take a nap on it. The way you write a command is you write a /, then you write sleep.
As soon as you shut your eyes, you hear a cold chittering. When you open them, the ice spider is already
There you go,
upon
that
you.
summons the spider. If you decide to use the skill check and get the key that way, you can still come and summon the spider by standing on the couch. Even if you don't have the quest objective to do it, it still works. I tried.
The ice spider shatters and dissolves into a snowy mist. Now that the creature has been destroyed, the head waiter will unlock the treasure vault for you.
Anyways, now we should be able to get the key for the cellar. Actually, for the treasure room that's inside of the cellar.
Grateful that the ice spider is no longer around to nip at his staff's heels, the head waiter gladly opens the door to the treasure vault. Water elementals flood out of the treasure vault to confront the intruders.
This room is mandatory, and that's because of the switch.
You hear a bell chime in the ballroom as you pull this lever.
Also, we've got a secret door over here for even more loot. This is locked. Let's continue down the hallway, where we were going before. As you can see, this area is still locked, and that we need the key for. Technically speaking, we can go get the key right now, but I'm going to continue this way, because it's going to loop around back to where I want to go.
A group of palace guards stand at attention in front of the Prince of Frost's quarters. You'll have to defeat them in order to enter.
Okay, this is the Frost Prince's quarters. The top room sends us to this little area over here.
A frost giant snores on the floor of this chamber. Clearly, he didn't think anyone would dare to intrude in the Prince of Frost's private quarters. You find yourself in a surprisingly sparse chamber. But even in such a bare room, you know there must be something hidden inside.
Both fountains have something. One of them has a collectible. The other one has a secret lever.
The spout on this fountain turns like a door handle. A secret passage slides open along the back wall. Hidden away in this room stands a sculpture of a woman. Its plaque reads, "For my love, in ice you survive."
You need to break this with some kind of projectile. Throwing weapon, ranged weapon, whatever.
The Prince of Frost had hidden a journal inside a sphere of ice. The journal details memories of his long-lost love, who died thousands of years ago. As you drop the journal, the Frost Giant bursts into the room, along with a squad of red-capped guards. The Frost Giant collapses onto the floor with a heavy thud.
Once you defeat the giant, it will spawn a chest. So don't forget it. Don't run out of the room before you pick it up. Anyways, we completed this objective. Now we can continue back to where we were before. They had these picture portals all over the palace, so I'm just going to use one to take me back to the center.
You notice a bizarre painting depicting the Wintertide Ballroom. To your surprise, you're able to step through it and into the ballroom itself.
I don't know why that DM comes exactly that time, but whatever. Okay, we already did the other side. On the bottom, we're going to go through this side now on the bottom. Here we've got ourselves a shrine. This room has a collectible, and this room has a secret door. This is completely for an optional. Here we've got another secret door. You can just pull this lever and we'll open up the door also, but I think it's cool to move the cabinet. Here we get this optional is to read these notes. There's 3 of them in total. They're supposed to be the diary of the prince or something like that.
Baron Bitterspine's diary reveals that he had learned Hirson was plotting something with a mysterious stranger. The Baron followed the Archfey to a hunting lodge in the mountains, determined to learn more.
Anyways, this lever opens up the door to the room that we first explored, the one that had icicles blocking the door. That means this leads us to the top floor, which is exactly where we want to be. First, I'm going to stop by this NPC and get my reward that he promised.
Squire Icebrook promised to give you something older than the palace as payment for delivering his message to the Baroness. Getting a rendition of an old folk song wasn't exactly what you had in mind. The court advisor stares off into the distance. At the sound of your footsteps, he jolts, turns around, and lets out a dejected sigh.
You can attempt a skill check, and if you fail, you'll have to fight him. Luckily for me, I rolled a good roll. Easy
Osha
peasy.
hands you a key.
Get the key and that's it.
He tells you that the frosted cerise flower can be found in the center of the Aurora garden, but warns you not to let the true nature of your visit become gossip fodder for the other guests.
Anyways, now I've got the key to the garden. This doorway leads to the garden, but right now it's not opened. We have to go through one of the 2 side entrances that we passed before, the ones with the barriers on them. Anyways, this hallway we didn't go down all the way, so we're going to continue on this path. This way we can have the full experience and see all the hallways in this quest. This is a mirror image of the other side, but hey. You can't sleep on a couch on this side.
You step out into the snowy garden. A peculiar patch of grass grows in its center, along with a flower that emanates a magical, chilly aura.
Okay, we're going to take this flower.
The flower crumples away into nothing in the palm of your hand, and instantly regrows in the soil. The newly sprouted flower glows blindingly for a moment, and, unexpectedly, a shockwave rocks the palace. The door refuses to budge. There must be something blocking it from the other side. You need to find another way out of the garden.
So, we need a new way out. And that means we're going to jump up these snow stairs, or whatever you want to call them. Whoops. Here we've got a big sheet of ice you need to break. And here we go. This is the top floor where the door is now open. I'll jump back down into the central hall.
To your surprise, the ballroom is now covered in twisting vines and familiar flowers.
I thought I eradicated those flowers a millennia ago. Now they're everywhere.
Snarls the Prince of Frost.
Outlander, you will fix this. I'll turn you into a block of ice.
Lady Lazuli informs you that there were only 2 Eladrin nobles she didn't recognize in attendance tonight. She knows who can tell you more. Sir Snowdrift, the resident social butterfly of the Prince of Frost's court.
If you're ever uncertain about where to go, just look at the quest objectives on the side and then open up the map and look for the purple dot corresponding to that objective, and you'll know where to go. Also, now that this palace has been transformed because of that flower, so now you've got these ice blights or whatever they are. Also, I think I'm going to take a short nap. And while I'm at it, I'm going to ask you again to please hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. Appreciate it very much. I'm about to cross the 4,000 hours of view time, and I'm only lacking subscribers, so I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Sir Snowdrift tells you that Lord Beryl was last seen slinking off to the kitchen in search of a fresh bottle of wine. Then he shoos you out of his crowd of adoring nobles.
As I showed you before, the kitchen is inside of the cellar. It doesn't say kitchen on the map, so I'll have to remember that one.
Lord Beryl says that Dame Allegra has gone to explore the Prince of Frost's quarters. Speaking with her is the next step in solving this plant puzzle.
Okay, now we need to go to the prince's quarters. Touching these flowers doesn't do anything.
An Eladrin noble stands at the base of the stairs that lead to the Prince of Frost's quarters. This must be Dame Allegra, the mysterious newcomer you're looking for. Dame Allegra saw a hooded stranger plant the frosted cerise in the garden. She bids you to follow her there, so she can help you search for clues about the culprit.
Okay, so now we need to head to the garden. I'm going to go down this hallway because this is the last piece of the castle that I haven't gone down. I said before already, this is a mirror image of the other side, but hey, now we have the full experience. We've seen all the hallways. Also, there's trash in here that I want to kill with XP. Now be aware of these root walls. When you approach them, doesn't make a difference which side, I have a bunch of mobs
A
spawn.
growth of blossoming vines has sprung up around the door. When you get close, some of the greenery comes to life.
This kelpie dryad thingy is really, really dangerous. Especially on Elite, when you're, even more when you're a new character. She can destroy you really, really fast. So you should focus all of your attention on her.
Dame Allegra stands in the center of the garden. She lets out a low chuckle.
How did you like my little prank? It was good fun. Riling up that gloomy prince always entertains my master here, Sir.
Allegra transforms before your eyes. You recognize her new form as Cadence, the night hag, who caused such trouble for the gatekeepers back in Stormreach.
Happy to see me, dearie. Good. It'll be for the last time.
Cadence pants.
I think that's enough taunting for one day. I'll let my pretty petals finish you off.
With a mad cackle, she vanishes. In her place, a shambling mound rises to attack. The mass of flowers and vines crumbles into ash, yet it leaves behind one last frosted cerise flower. You pluck the frosted cerise flower from the snow. This time, the bloom stays in the palm of your hand, instead of crumpling away into nothing. Return to the Baroness to tell her what happened. Though the prince himself would never admit to it, the Baroness tells you he is in your debt for thwarting the Night Hag's scheme. And now that you have the frosted cerise, you're one step closer to waking Lord Arden.
Anyways, that's going to be it. So, if you've benefited from this guide or if you've just enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. Anyways, that's it. See you in a different video. Bye.